Very often I hear people say, or I see them post, I'm afraid to brush my wig, or I haven't brushed it in a long time, I'm so afraid to, or the lace seems so delicate, I'm afraid. Something like that. Here's why you should be afraid not to brush your wig. If you don't brush your wig, especially if it's long hair, but really at any length, it's hair, it moves. You're outside, it's windy, you're moving around, you're bending over, you're lifting up, you're not standing still, you're not a mannequin. It's gonna move. Tangles happen, knots happen. That's life. Doesn't matter how fine the hair is, even if they're like this is very fine, silky hair. It's never going to have it's never had major tangles, but they're little tiny snaggles. It happens. That's life. That's life with hair. And when you don't brush it, especially over time, it's not like the hair that's attached to our heads where we're showering every day or every other day and we're washing our hair and we're brushing it. This can go a month or 2 or 3. Shouldn't go that long, but it goes a while between washes, and we're wearing it every day. Even if you're only wearing it once a week, it can go a while between washing it or sending it in to get washed. And if you let it go that long, it definitely will get tangles, especially if it has hairspray or other products in it that dry it out. Now, if it has a tangle in it, even a little tangle, let's say right here, and then you go to untangle it, because eventually you're definitely going to want to do that. You're not going to walk around with it having big, obvious tangles. And you go to do that, you're going to end up pulling somewhere if it's really bad. So either you're going to be pulling from here, you'll be gentle with the scalp, but you're going to break hair. That's not good. Or you're going to be pulling from the scalp. You're going to pull hair out. That's also not good. So it's much better to brush it out when it's just a little tangled, like this. I didn't brush it yet today. That's why I'm showing you this now. Actually, I didn't brush it yesterday either. A long day. That's why this is the perfect time to do this video and show you. Because this is very fine hair, as I said. Takes a lot to get this a little tangled. But it's hair, and this is life, and I work hard, so it does happen. So now I'm going to show you how you do brush your wig, because how you brush your wig, even though you should be more afraid not to brush it, how you brush it matters. So you gently hold on to the ends, hold them tightly, as if you were making a ponytail, and start at the ends. And be gentle. This is a gentle little brush. See how the bristles have these little caps? So there's nothing sharp that could split the ends. Let me just start gently. And if I needed to, if this were dry or very tangled, very knotty hair, and sometimes textured hair can get more tangled or knottier, could use a nice detangling or conditioning spray like a leave-in conditioner or hair oil. That helps. You want to avoid getting that on the scalp or the lace. And then after I've done that and that feels nice and soft, that started out feeling nice and soft. I'm just demonstrating. Be patient. Gently work your way up. And be thorough. Doesn't take so long. It's just a few minutes to do the whole wig, even if it's long hair like this. This is a 22-inch, measuring from the crown. And it's worth it to be patient, because whether you paid $5,000 for your wig or $10,000 for your wig, maybe you got it used or it was a cheap wig, maybe it's a synthetic, maybe it's $100 wig, maybe someone gifted it to you and you got it for free. Still, this is your hair. You want to respect it. You want it to look nice. You want to be nice to it, so it's going to be nice to you. You don't want to ever be pulling hair from the roots. Really, there should never be tangles this close to the roots. But you want to be gentle. Don't be afraid when some hairs come out. That's normal. There's no way to avoid brushing hair, even the hair attached to your head, without some of the hair coming out. Big difference though is your hair is going to grow back. And this doesn't. And that's okay, because nothing lasts forever. And we know that. We buy these knowing we're going to replace them someday. We want to make them last as long as we can. Now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. You want to pay extra attention to the nape area that has the highest tendency to tangle. You want to also pay some extra attention there when you're applying your detangling sprays and your deep conditioners when it's washing time. So it's normal to lose a few hairs when you brush it, but you'd lose a lot more hair if you let it get really tangled and then brushed it. So don't worry about that. It has enough hair that you're not going to notice a difference in volume after losing a few hairs. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that different hair colors, not with wigs, but with our actual scalps, different hair colors lose different amounts of hair on average per day? Brunettes generally lose the least, and blondes generally lose the most. Up to 200 hairs per day is normal for a blonde to lose. And brunettes usually lose around 100 to 125 hairs per day. Other hair colors fall somewhere in between. But we also grow the same number of new hairs per day, approximately. As we get older, we end up growing fewer hairs, new hairs per day. That's why many people experience thinning and balding as they get older. Fortunately, we have a fix for that. So then when you get to the top, there's nothing to hold on to, but by then you've already detangled. So you want to do this when you put it on and when you take it off. It goes a lot faster. I just took 8 minutes, but I slowed it down so you could see. Also, I was talking. But if you're good about doing it every time you put it on and every time you take it off, and you're not doing it for demonstration purposes, and you're really good about it. Also, I'm enjoying myself. I like to pet the hair. Very passionate about hair, and it feels really amazing. But typically, when I'm putting it on or taking it off, it takes me about 1 to 2 minutes to just do the quick brush through. You could even finger brush. It's better than nothing. Just like hold the ends, brush, 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 and you're good to go. But you really want to do that every time you put it on, every time you take it off. And again, you should be much more afraid not to brush it, but be careful how you brush it. And you don't ever want to be yanking at it. Honestly, don't do that with your scalp, with your natural hair either.